Murphy.
Greetings to everyone. We're in week 12 of the legislative session, and this is actually the second funnel. So bills that came out of one chamber would now have to come out of a committee in the other chamber to be alive for the session. So we'll see. I think today we're probably doing a lot of debate and probably some tomorrow. I would share, I've been involved with the Island Child Protection Center for quite some time, and we actually established a satellite facility up in Mason City. I'm hopeful that the language that they have gets changed so that we can get the appropriations that are needed for that facility. I would also say that Senate File 548, it's a bill that would put new limits on acquisition of property of non-profit groups for conservation. And it's really a problem for us as a state, particularly with the flooding that we're seeing. This is really a great opportunity to create green space. Areas like George Wythe Park in reality wouldn't even be able to be established if this were to go forward. So look forward to hearing your comments on this, and the rest of my friends here.
Yeah. So I'll kind of follow up with a little bit on Senate File 548. One of the reasons that we're adamantly opposed to this legislation is that right now in the state of Iowa we have a water quality issue. One of the ways that we combat water quality is improving spaces where we can have better filtration through the soil. And we do that through acquiring properties or lands that aren't suitable for farming but can really be beneficial in reducing the harmful chemicals that go into our groundwater. So that's one of the main pushes to make sure that we still have the ability to do so to help improve the quality of life for all of Iowans. In other news, Senate File 442 in transportation came through committee. We have some issues with this legislation. It gives broad immunity to people who make mistakes or are negligent in responding to emergency situations. We know that our emergency personnel need support, our police and fire need our support, but it's also important that we hold those who act recklessly accountable and not give blanket immunity for those who aren't making decisions based on their training. Other than that, in education, Senate File 438 did not pass, so it's really exciting. We're able to kill that bill per se and have it move forward. We know what that did to our school nurses and school librarians. We think that not having that legislation move forward is going to only help further improving the quality of education for all of our students across the state.
Hi everybody. So as many of you know, and some don't, United is leaving Iowa July 1st, and that is there with the private MCOs with our Medicaid patients. I want you all to know that our entire caucus did sign legislation to carve our most needed patients and long-term care patients out of that to go back to fee-for-service. We also talked about that deeply on the floor this week. We were not heard. And so at this point, it will be down to 2 care providers for our patients in Iowa. And those of you who are on United right now, you need to be watching your mailbox because you're going to get information and you need to sign up with a new provider. And don't neglect to do that, because if you do, they'll just place you where they want to. So I want you to have that choice. Another thing is, as we transition, this is going to turn us all upside down again, and I realize that, and many of you are very nervous about this process. If you have problems, if you have difficulties, please call us and we will help you navigate through this process. So hang in there, everybody. We're trying what we can do down here, but right now they are not listening to us. They still feel that this is a good program going forward, and we all know it's not.
Hello everybody. As Representative Kressig mentioned, this is the second funnel week. I'm on the Appropriations Committee, so we've been starting into some long and late meetings, looking at the bills coming from the Senate. Also, from our own chamber, we debated the education appropriations budget again, and we'll be debating that either tonight or tomorrow. I'm not sure which, so stay tuned for the vote on that. We will probably be opposing the overall bill because the funding for education is not adequate. Beyond that, have some other bills coming in from the Senate for Commerce, which have led to some interesting and lively discussions. And a couple of those we have elected not to push to the House floor, so that's kind of an interesting part of the process. That means those bills are dead for this year. And then there was discussion about Senate File 548, the ag bill. We've received lots of emails on that. We've also received a lot of emails on credit union issues again. We have not seen the credit union language yet, so hang on. You know our positions on credit unions, so we'll stand with that position, and so stay tuned for both of those things. The ag bill will be debated maybe later today or tomorrow also. I know it's in committee today, later after this. And then the solar bill is still lurking out there in the shadows somewhere. We haven't changed our position, and so stay tuned for how that turns out. Other than that, thank you for tuning in, and we hope you have a great weekend.